Prince William and Princess Catherine chose a modest four-bedroom cottage over royal grandeur. A move that quietly surprised many and sparked questions about what they were stepping away from at Kensington Palace. Now settled in Windsor, their focus on privacy and family life seems clear, yet growing attention around Forest Lodge hints at a carefully planned next chapter. So is this simplicity a personal choice? Or the first step in a much bigger royal transition? Back in 2022, the Prince and Princess of Wales made a decision that caught many royal watchers off guard. They stepped away from the formality of Kensington Palace in London and relocated to Windsor with their 3 children. It marked a clear shift in priorities, away from visibility and toward something much more personal: stability, privacy, and a grounded family life. Adelaide Cottage, their chosen home, sits within the grounds of Windsor Castle. It's surrounded by parkland, shielded from the constant public gaze that defines central London life. With just 4 bedrooms and no live-in staff, it operates on a scale that feels surprisingly intimate for a senior royal household. Because instead of leaning into royal tradition, where large teams and formal routines are the norm, Prince William and Princess Catherine appear to be doing the opposite. Their day-to-day life reportedly revolves around shared meals, school runs, and hands-on parenting. Windsor has long been associated with continuity and reflection within the monarchy. It was, after all, a place closely tied to Queen Elizabeth II in her later years. By positioning their family there, William and Catherine are not just choosing a home, they're aligning themselves with a quieter, more enduring version of royal life. But Adelaide Cottage isn't just about the present. Built in 1831 for Queen Adelaide, it was never intended to be a showpiece. Over time, it has hosted a range of royal figures and quietly witnessed moments that never made headlines. Even its subtle connection to the story of Princess Margaret and Peter Townsend adds a layer of emotional depth. It reminds us that behind every royal residence, there are human stories, complicated, personal, and often hidden from public view. And yet, as fitting as Adelaide Cottage is for this chapter of their lives, there's growing attention on what comes next. Because just a short distance away lies Forest Lodge, a much larger, more secluded property within the Windsor estate. It's not as widely discussed, but among royal observers, it's increasingly seen as a potential future home for the Wales family. Right now, their focus is clearly on raising young children in a stable, low-pressure environment. But as those children grow, and as Prince William moves closer to his role as king, the demands will inevitably change. There will be a need for more space, not just for living, but for working, hosting, and fulfilling the responsibilities that come with the crown. In that context, Forest Lodge starts to feel less like an upgrade, and more like the next step in a carefully planned transition. So rather than viewing Adelaide Cottage and Forest Lodge as 2 separate choices, it's more accurate to see them as part of a timeline. One represents the present, a period centered on family and grounding. The other points toward the future, a phase of increased visibility and responsibility. Because for generations, royal life has often been defined by scale, bigger homes, bigger events, bigger presence. But what William and Catherine seem to be doing is quietly redefining that model. They're showing that control over one's environment, how and where you live, can be just as powerful as tradition itself. They're not rejecting tradition, but they're also not being confined by it. Instead, they're adapting it, step by step, in a way that reflects both their roles and their values. Because in a world where visibility often equals influence, choosing privacy, and doing it so intentionally, stands out. At its core, this story isn't really about Adelaide Cottage or even Forest Lodge. It's about how a future king and queen are choosing to live, not just publicly but privately. It's about the kind of environment they believe matters for raising their children. And ultimately, it's about the kind of monarchy they may one day lead. A quieter one, a more measured one, and perhaps a more human one. So as we look at this modest home in Windsor, it's worth asking, what does it truly represent? Is it simply a temporary chapter? Or is it a signal of something more lasting? And when the time comes for that next move, when Forest Lodge potentially becomes their new base, will it mark a return to tradition? Or the continuation of something entirely new? What do you think? Are Prince William and Princess Catherine redefining royal life in a meaningful way? Or is this simply a phase before stepping back into a more traditional role? Share your thoughts below. And if you enjoy thoughtful royal insights like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next story.